On to topic number 2. Sneaky link etiquette. Okay.
Oh my
Sneaky
God.
link etiquette. What are the do's and don'ts of sliding through the night?
Hey man, you gotta set them boundaries. You gotta set them boundaries, man. You can't be.
Hmm.
You gotta set them boundaries. You can't cross them, and if you cross them, it's gotta be repercussion for crossing. If you know this is a sneaky link, you can't be doing no extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can't be bringing me. You know what I'm saying? Grits and shrimp, and then expect me not to fall in love. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? You can't be. But then to say you can't like you have to establish. You have to like establish the boundaries from the very beginning of it. Like, and I think most people think that okay, this is cool. You have to understand that eventually things might change, but you have to. It can be whatever you want it to be. It can be whatever you want it to be. But you do. Like you can't be doing relationship things, and then when it get our relationship, like this is not a relationship. This ain't a relationship. Like oh well, you gonna end up like the baby. You know what I'm saying? Taking pictures, kissing, and saying, well, it's not a relationship. Like it look real relationship.
It looks right.
It looks real.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. You need to set your intentions because if I don't know we're a sneaky link and everybody else does, first off, that doesn't even make sense because you're not being sneaky if your friends know that we're sneaking around. So that's A. And B,
got another story for that one. Not me, though. Not me, but
if we're just like Reggie said, I wholeheartedly agree because if we're going around, we going out and eating, doing this and that. I'm at your house, you're at my place. We're talking about big shit like moving in and stuff like that. How am I supposed to know I'm a sneaky link? And that's why I always feel like people's intentions and where they're at should always be communicated, no matter what the situation is. If you are just fuck buddies, say that. If you're a sneaky link, say that. If you want, I'm dating to marry, I want to date you, just say that. I can't stand that.
I gotta counter that because not everybody can handle that truth. No, not everybody can handle that truth because it's all like not. I'm telling you now, it sounds really good and adult like until you really start liking that person, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Look, I like fucking you, but I don't want to be with you." And then what happens is that person's like, you know what? I'm going to stay here long enough till I change your mind. And then what happens?
Dumb. I'm like, why are you doing that? If you don't want that, get the fuck out of there. And that's exactly how I feel. You're so right. You're so right. Because like a lot of women will be like, oh, well, I just want men to be honest. And then all of a sudden it's shoes and clothes thrown out the fucking apartment because
they want them to be honest as long as they're saying things that they want to hear.
What you want. Right. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm just being honest here. And any women who is listening to this, like, you can attack me, that's fine, crucify me. But I feel like a lot of women struggle with that. I'm sorry. But a lot of women struggle with that. There are some emotional men that struggle with that too. Especially entitled men that think that they can do whatever they want, but then the women they have to abide by what their boundaries are, but they can't stick to the women's boundaries. That's another problem I have. But I do feel like women ask for honesty, and when they get it, they flip the fuck out. And I'm like, okay, not saying you can't respond to the honesty, but just what is wrong with you just doing what you need to do? I found out, listen, after I got divorced and I got into the single world, and was navigating these trials and tribulations, I was kind of like, there's a lot going on out here, right? But also, a lot of the times, like I feel like women take things so personally. I'm gonna beat your ass.
A lot of traffic out here.
I really am, y'all. But
look both ways. You gotta look both ways, man.
So no, I just feel like I feel like a lot of women take things personally, and a lot of times it's not even about us. It's about what the other person is going through, and really on both sides. No matter what your gender is or what you identify with, it's really about the other person and their journey and where they're at in their life. If they're not ready to commit, you're not going to change their mind. Just like Reggie said, you talking about, oh, well, let me stay with them. Maybe if I could just put it on him real good over and over and over again, he's going to change his mind. I used to think that. My dumb ass used to fucking think that. And I would be looking stupid when 4 or 5 months go by and nothing has changed at all. and you're sitting there disappointed. The only person you can blame is yourself. You know, like
Hey,
just saying.
hey, what's that girl from Love and Hip Hop? She's like, put it on and make him want to marry.
That shit is not real. That shit is not real. I'm telling you, that is not real. You got women singing it, thinking that shit really gonna happen, and it doesn't always.
It's not. It's not. Because trust me, the degree of difference is only how much I like you. Like, there's not really that much. Like,
you can be the favorite. That's it.
Yeah, it really is. Like that really changes like the whole encounter. Like, it's how much I like you. Like, granted, some people got a little bit more skills here or there or whatever, but the baseline is pretty much the same. Like, it's literally like everything's a freaking almost everything's a BMW. You know what I'm saying? Like under the hood, like everything's BMW. Everything's BMW.
It is.
I mean,
I'm even a man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, maybe this one does. Maybe this one drives a little better than this one, or the seats feel better than this. But ultimately, it's all the same. But what happens when pressure come in? What are we? I was like, okay, here we go. And most men go into a situation where they don't want it to change, and what it is, I learned that most men don't like hurting women's feelings. Because you can't
most of the time you ain't gonna get it again. That's what that means.
And that's why
I noticed that's very important for you guys.
That is
like a big deal for y'all.
Okay, but let's have to look it up. Sex is very important. Sex is very important. Like, people love to say sex is not important until they're in a relationship with somebody, and then that person cheats on them. Then all of a sudden, sex. But if it wasn't a big deal, why? You shouldn't trip them cheat. It was just sex, remember? It's not that important. It's not that important. Now all of a sudden it's important.
Or you ready to leave because it ain't good enough.
It ain't good enough. Exactly. Now, but once again, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, as dudes, it's hard. But then again, I also realize women, a lot of times during those encounters, you're not getting what y'all need as well. And y'all dealing with, you know what I'm saying? It's dudes lie. We manipulate women to get what we want out of y'all. Mm-hmm. But it's also a thin line to where y'all know who you're dealing with. As man, when I was dealing with an ain't shit bitch, I knew the etiquettes for this. I knew what this was about. I didn't get my feelings because I knew that I was fucking with a toss up, and that's what this encounter was. Now, what happens is, when I get to trying to treat the toss-up more than what this established relationship is, then I look like a dummy.
Right.
Until she proves otherwise. But I mean, I've seen it time again. It's just, it's quite entertaining, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
White.
It makes for some really great stories later on.
Yeah, man. I'll say this, though. Like, with Sneaky Links, like, man, I fucked up one time, okay? Like
you did.
So no, I think I told this story before to you, Heather. I think you heard this story before. So me and the girl, you know what I'm saying, like, man, on a little date. What was it? Was it Black? Yeah, I think it was Black dating app. You know what I'm saying? Swiping right. You know what I'm saying? And then I invited her over to the room. This was when I was staying in San Diego. It was during the pandemic, so I invited her to the crib. There was no going out, you know what I'm saying? But I got, like, you know what I'm saying, steak, and I had like the wine bottle, like wine glasses, candles, all that stuff. Like, ambient set, you know what I'm saying? Basically, I was like, I'm getting some tonight. That was my mission.
He was going raw. He was going raw that night. He got steak and wine.
I did.
See? That's skin to skin. My boy said, I want to feel it.
I was reckless. I was fully reckless, man. We was out on the balcony with it, man. Reckless. Like, but anyway, so look, all that occurred, you know what I'm saying? And then we woke up the next day and I took her to brunch. That's where I messed up at. Because then she was like, oh, he want to be with me. He want, like, this relationship and all this other stuff. And I'm just
and full disclosure, Smooth just likes brunch. He's one of those weird guys.
I really just love
like because he's like,
do.
hey, help me out with something. I'm like, all right, too. He's like, hey, do you want to get brunch? I'm like, so that's just Smooth's
Like,
go-to
what?
thing. Like he just loves brunch.
For him being a
Oh,
gentleman,
okay.
him just being considered. Say, hey, I'm eating. You want to slide with me?
Right. Like
Right.
it's
That is
right down the
crazy.
street. I'm just gonna walk right there. You know what I'm saying? They got the outdoor seating for brunch. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And so shoot, I sat down out there and was munching. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then she's over there talking about like all sorts of deep stuff with her child and all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh, I fucked up. Like as I'm drinking my water, I'm like, I need to drink more. Is this bottomless? Thank God, I need more.
Is this bottomless?
Yeah,
Been there.
because I'm like, I don't think you understand like how terrible I'm being right now. Like I was with you last night. That's cool. Like I'm going to old girl crib once I take a nap. Like I'm finna take a nap and go to the other girl crib. Like during the pandemic, I was sliding, I was moving, like it was bad. But like yeah, I messed up with the sneaky link. Like me and her was just supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Then she ended up getting mad at me because I didn't text her one day. Like she got mad at me and I was being petty and I was like, man, you don't even have a right to be mad at me. Like this was just a jump. Like this was just like supposed to be a one-time thing. So if you're already mad and you don't want to communicate, you trying to cold shoulder me, cool. Blocked. And I blocked her like immediately. Like it kept it pushing. I'm like, if she want to talk again, she know where I live. She'll come knock on the door.
It's that simple.
She wants you to come back with some Grimy night shit and singing and all that.
Yeah, you put it on her, honey. No. So what is the rule then? Is it just one meal, like not more?
No,
like,
there should not be a morning. She was supposed to leave. Okay, she was supposed to leave.
I'm so bad at sneaky links, by the way. Like I'm horrible.
She was supposed to leave.
So bad.
I fucked up and let her stay in the moment because I was like,
no,
get it again in the morning. Don't sound too bad.
No, you did right. You did right because that's an awkward conversation as you get through doing because you do it and afterward you like, so what you finna do? Because I'm about to go on in like.
Yeah.
Is this Uber going or like how you like? That's an awkward conversation. So I can see why you're like, you know what? We can slide this thing in the morning, and then because most people know that sleeping niggas like by 7:00 is checkout time. You got to be out by 7:00. Right?
Absolutely.
How about sunrise?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I ain't
gonna lie to you. When I was out there doing that, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I 5:30, I'd get up, just leave, go home, and go to sleep. Like it's like I went in there sleeping comfortably. I'm in there like, I don't need to be in here. Boy, I'm talking about 5:30. Yeah, I gotta go to work. I was off.
I have a thing about that too. Like, I don't like. Why am I spending the night if you're not trying to? Like, I don't know. I mean, unless I'm super tired or drunk or something like that, cool. But as soon as my eyes open, I'm out of there. I'm gone.
No.
Like I can't.
That's not bad.
I mean, I feel like it's the right thing to do. Like you don't want the awkwardness to linger, like Reggie was saying. Yeah.
Not everybody think that. Not everybody think that.
You wake up.
I done cooked breakfast before one time.
I have seen a sneaky link blow up epically, and it was hilarious.
What happened?
Okay, so with this sneaky link, there's two people, and they were together for a while, and then they broke up, but then they decided to be sneaky links. Well, I think, and this is where it's confusing because one person's like, nah, like we're just because he told me he's like, nah, he's like we're just hooking up, we know what it is, blah blah blah. But the thing is, like, I'm friends with both of them. So then she's all like, oh, yeah, he said, like, wouldn't it be good if we could get back together or blah, 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 like that too. So they're all two totally different pages. And then she kind of knew what it was. And then she's like, what do you think? And I'm like, trust your gut.
Frankie, what the fuck?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not adding one way to the other. And the thing,
which was smart.
To be fair, I didn't even go call him up and give him a warning, like, yo, dog, like she thinks you're. I let it play.
Right.
No, I just let it play. I'm like, just trust your gut, because I remember because it came to a head because she because I got her to take me to the airport because I was actually going to the airport because I was so I said, hey, and I know because she's always up late. So I'm like, hey,
Okay.
I'm like, can you take me to the airport at this time or the flyaway? And it was like that too. She's like, and she's like, what time? I'm like, oh, because I'm taking like a red eye flight. And she's like, oh yeah, no problem. Because I think my flight left like at like 4 a.m. So she's like, oh yeah. So then she's talking to that. She's like, oh, well, about blah blah blah. And she's talking to me about it, and she's like, yeah, she's like, I know I'm stupid, but I feel like we're going back to this, and we're gonna be together. So I've been going over there, and I'm kind of thinking, I'm kind of like, because like I talk to my bro like, all the time. So I'm like, yeah, that's not what I'm hearing, but I didn't even say that. I was like, okay. I'm like, and I said, I don't know, but I'm like, trust your gut. I'm like, if you think something, and that's it, because she wasn't sure. And so all I said was like, if you think something's wrong, something might not be there, so just trust your gut. Well, apparently I went to Georgia, and then I came back, and then shit blew up, because then she's all like, oh, blah blah blah. So then pretty much, because she was upset, because then I think she realized that, hey, she's actually like the sneaky link. And then she's like, oh, well, she's like, well, I went, and she's like, and it was like, and Alan was trying to get at me, and here's some blah blah blah, and so like that message. And I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
Not she blamed you.
But it did. So definitely the rules are be clear and concise on what you want. Don't add anything to it, because honestly, there was 2 totally different stories that what each person was getting. And like with Smooth, with the brunch thing, I don't really blame Smooth, because that's what he does in general. So if you know him, that's what he does. So and that's why I decided to bring that part of the story, because because we were like in North Hollywood, and he's like, hey, I'm about to make some mimosas, I'm gonna get some like that too. And I'm like, oh no, dog, I see I already ate breakfast. So, and every time we do something in the morning, Smooth's like, yo, we're gonna get brunch. So that's Smooth likes brunch. So if you're doing to what you treat them as you are a friend, then the guy or the girl does not have to feel bad when it blows up. But if you're doing extra shit to keep them there, that's not where you should not do that. And that's pretty much.
I agree with that,
because I know people. Shit. Yeah, because people like they make up like, oh, like if like once you start doing like that extra shit, like you're doing that extra shit for a reason, and that's when you get that attachment and everything, and then you feel, then you get vindictive, like, oh, well, I did this, and then I'm like, that's good.
You feel entitled, like they owe you,
but it's like, no, it's like, and it's kind of like a sneaky link for how everything is. We're just friends that happen to have sex.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, I do this with my friend like that too. And if we're best friends, and like, you have to put it in a tier too. So like, if we're best friends and we're having sex, I'm doing this for you because you're my best friend, not the fact that I'm giving it to you. And that needs to be well established, because I saw it blow up epically, and it was looking back at it, it's hilarious. And now it's like, and like now, like, none of us are the same, because after that happened, she fucking ghosted me. All kinds of things too. I'm like, you better, because actually it sucks, because like her grandma died. So I was like, oh, like, hey man, like I heard about your grandma. Really, really sorry. Because that's the thing, because we talked about stuff besides her shit too. So it's like we were actually friends. So I'm like, I heard about that too. And I'm like, oh, we're not cool. And I'm like, oh, what? She said what? I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, stay hidden, because once I see you, like you're gonna get it.
You're gonna get it.
No, it's like you're just talking, because it's like, don't talk nonsense and don't do something just to hurt somebody when you knew what was happening when you went in. Because and I guess on the other side too, if you know what else the person is doing, because you guys are sneaky links, don't get delusional about yourself, because I think sometimes on people on each side they get delusional, because then
motherfuckers start reading. They start reading into things. They start reading into things.
Too deep.
Well, no, because it's like, it's like, if Heather and I were like she's my sneaky link, right? And I know that, but then it's like, oh, she canceled on her date for blah blah blah. I can't read into be like, oh, she canceled because of me. It's like, it's going
because of me, right?
Or, because the thing is, because like I know she's dating other people, so like I can't be like, oh, well, they're just blah 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 until I do whatever. It's like, no, like I have to take out what she says at face value, and I cannot add to it and try to change the narrative. And I think that's what people do on both sides of it as well too.
A lot of the time.
So a lot of the time. Be honest, don't do anything extra, and don't change the narrative.
Facts.
That's some pretty solid advice, to be honest.
Man, very solid.
But let's define extra shit, because this one time, I was with this guy, this was way back. I think I was like So I'm 27, right? This was way back when I was like 21. I met this guy.
21.
21?
I met this guy and we had sex and he fucking loved it. And so he was like, oh, well, spend the night. I can make dinner. Da, da, da. I didn't say nothing. I still assumed my role because I knew I was a sneaky link. He was like talking to this other girl or whatever. And I wasn't trying to be with anybody really. I was just trying to see what the D was like. So it was fine. I was like, okay. I was like, are you sure? Because I was really about to go home. And he was like, no, like, stay, please. I was like, okay. That was day one. I spend the night again. That was day two. He does the same thing. Buys dinner, cooks. Okay. The third, he bought dinner. And then the third day, same thing, right? But this time he cooked. Like, he was like, yeah, my mama makes this chicken. Da, da, da. I was like, what the fuck? You know, like, okay. And I'm just going with the flow. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
you messed up.
You fucked up. You should have went home.
I definitely
You should have went home.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
You didn't camped out. You got a toothbrush.
I definitely stayed a little bit long. So I was like, okay,
you got a side of the bed and everything.
Right? You got a drawer.
Going with the flow because I'm open to things changing. If he would change his mind, you know, I'm not doing anything. Like, you're my sneaky link, but I'm not really fucking anybody else. You know, I knew he had things going on, so I was just open to whatever. It didn't matter to me. So he was like, "Oh yeah, we're just friends." I was like, "Okay, cool." But then he cooks like 3 or 4 days in a row and has me stay over. Like, please stay. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I leave, and I think after that, maybe like a month or two later, like, we're going on dates and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna assume that we're sneaky links. So one of maybe this is fucked up, but one of his friends was like, ooh, I guess he had been talking about me. And so one of his friends was like, oh, hey, what's up, Heather, blah, blah. And I'm very on this.
Damn,
it's
that's like fucking legendary. You got that all friends like, yo, you
right.
Anyway,
he messed up though. He messed up.
I'm nasty.
He violated.
Yeah.
He violated. He should have never told his friend. But look, keep going.
Oh, that's how I felt. So I took offense because I'm like, why are you telling other people about what we doing? Aren't we sneaky links? Like, why are you telling people what we got going on? So he was like, yeah, I know you and him, blah, 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 be doing this and that. I was like, yeah, you know, we do. Because I'm honest and I'm an open book. Like, I don't really care. So, but at the end of the day, it was just the principle of the point because he established that we was on the low. So I'm like, okay, so your dudes know, but, you know, like, what? So I'm just out here, like, you putting my shit out here like that. And at the same time, right, I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, well, you know, like, we're still friends and stuff. And, you know, I'm asking him, like, I reassess the situation. Not what are we, but yeah, you're my sneaky link or whatever, right? You know, we good. And he was like, oh, yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, I'm not even ready. I'm not even emotionally available for people, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. So I go fuck one of his friends. Don't care. I was like, I'm good, you know, whatever. So I guess his friend was like, yo, Heather was this and that. Oh my God, you was that, and whatever. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck because at the time I was a little bit wild.
Hold on. There's so many violations in this story right now. Hold on. Hold on. One. So look, fellas, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. One, okay, you was there too long. All right. Two. Once the homie said something to you about it, you should have dipped off. 3, you fucked the homie. Like,
no, the reason why she fucked the homie was because he was running his mouth. So I get she was being
no.
petty.
I mean, in retaliation, I guess, but still,
that's because I like petty.
To fuck the homie though.
No, she was fucking being petty.
I can acknowledge. Yeah, I was, and I acknowledge that was kind of fucked up a little bit. But I was in my young 20s, like, I didn't care. Hey, what's up? So, so I was like, I didn't give a shit about that. I'm like, you out here running your mouth anyway. You want people to know. So I'm going to go ahead and fuck them. Like, don't.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing with that.
What?
Homie got to take that L. And I'm going to tell you why.
That's what I'm saying.
He got to eat the L.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, hold on. I just want to know how close was them two, though.
Are they close?
They weren't that close.
She wasn't wrong. I messed that up. She wasn't wrong. The homie was low key a little bit wrong for fucking her, just a little bit. But he does gotta hold that L.
Yeah, he gotta hold it.
I was just like, it is what it is because you're telling me right, and this is where communication is key because you're telling me we're a sneaky link. So why are you running your mouth? And that pissed me off because I'm like, no, like we're on the low or whatever. You got me over here every night, which okay, yeah, I fucked that up. Got it. But I'm just, I'm like, okay, cool. Like if you want to move in the direction of doing something more, like we can do that, but say that. But he didn't say that, so I stopped doing what we was doing. I fucked his friend, and I never doubled back and was like, yeah, let's continue. Like, no, I was just like, it's a done deal.
He'd have took you back.
Well,
he would
have.
So he would have gave you hell. He would have gave you hell about it.
He would
absolutely, and you know that. See, and other women know that. But yeah, it was just the principle of the point. Like, don't run your mouth and say that we're sneaky links. Like, don't do that. Like, if we're either this or that, like, and men, y'all make it so clear cut. Y'all just like, no, if it's this, like, play your role. Like, y'all want us to stay in our lane so damn bad, but then y'all can't stay in yours. And then I'm just like, no, don't act like that. Don't act like that, man.
I stay in my lane. I don't read your phone. I done seen text messages that hurt my heart. And from that day forward, I learned to stay in my lane. It ain't got phone could be ringing beside. I'm not touching that thing.
Right. Well,
see, it's kind of like the story that I told, where the other person tried to be petty as well too, but she actually didn't do anything.
Yeah,
because she just told him. She didn't say, "Oh, yeah, we did this." So I was like, "Oh, I love the pettiness." So especially when it doesn't involve me. So I mean, because I think with my story, like if we did something, I would have been like, "All right, you have to hold it." But like we did it, and she said it, so I think that's why I was mad at her, and she's gonna get it because I know I'll see her again. I'm like, you said what?
Right, like you were running your mouth, like.
But
and I'm very upfront. Like I'm very, most of the time I try not to be like confrontational, but like no, as soon as I hear, oh, okay, so you running your mouth, right? I thought we were sneaky links. And he was like, oh, well, we are, blah blah, like we just friends, but. I'm gonna do my thing while you do yours. And okay, so yeah, I was being petty because I knew it was his friend, and I knew they had talked and stuff, and so but I was still kind of like, I was salty because I was like, what?
So in being salty, okay, you tell me if you don't want to answer this or not. Like, were you extra with the friend, like to be extra?
She was.
Hey, I had a reputation of
she had to show out.
Hey, you can't hold that Fifth Amendment now.
Right.
She's like, oh, he's like, he told you everything. Let me give you the director's cut.
Right, like you're gonna know, and of course he also came back and read his mouth too, and I was like, okay, but then I don't like doing the whole thing with the circles, Frankie, like you said. I don't like that because that's when you start being the pass around. You don't want that.
Yeah,
he cried at the house like, she did what? She did what?
I know he was sick,
bro.
I've
been there. That's a sick feeling.
He texted me and was like, and I was like, you was running your mouth. You want people to know, right? So I was being a bitch, though. I was being a bitch.
I bet you that B word and that H word was flying so smooth.
I hate her. I hope she never comes back.
It wasn't even all that good, no way.
Right. Look, you wasn't saying none of that when.
Meanwhile, he looking at her Instagram crying at night.
He hit me up last year and was like, hey, I heard you got divorced. How you doing? And I was like, nope.
Heard you got divorced.
Leave me alone.
Bam.
She's legendary. I'm telling you, she is legendary.
Had him crying all motherfucking night.
That's not how you restart a conversation, though. Anyway.
No, he's doing that thing from the Wolverine, the meme with Wolverine. Look at the photo.
But yeah, I felt bad though because I would have been a lot more dignified if I would have been like, oh well, like I'm not cool with that and just walked away from it. But I was adding fuel to the fire. Plus, my ego was so big. I was 21, Like
plus, but now he looks different, so now he won't do that again.
Fuck it.
Sometimes you gotta get your lick back to let them know you're not to be fucked with. Okay, like
absolutely.
For real.
And now he learned his lesson, so now
I think you're right about that.
Like sometimes you gotta show somebody something so they'll know what's up. Yeah, for real. Because shit can get reckless if you want it to be there.
Yeah, and it did. Like, I was like, nah, shut up.
Man, bro.
Nobody else is talking.
No, see, I just know, like, the conversations at the crib is sick now. Like, hey, bro, you remember Heather? Like, he's sick.
But it's an awkward conversation. It's an awkward conversation now because now they just, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, it's
they
like,
probably asking what you did with them to each other. And he's gonna be like,
yeah, you know,
they gonna be looking at each other like,
oh, she did.
Like,
oh, yeah, she did that for me too. She got it from me, really. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He hitting that Bruno Mars right now. This bitch got me.
Smoking out the window.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Man.
I was just like, leave me alone.
Nah, I haven't had like one of those, but I've had a like a little recent moment of I'm not the only person. No, nigga. Like,
no.
You got me fucked up. How are you gonna sit up here and say you're not getting married, you're not gonna be in a relationship, this, that, and the third, but then turn around and be like, well, it's only been me and you.
Right, we all know what that means.
Nigga.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. Right, I'm like, we're not falling for that. It's 2022.
And then, like, even if it was, like, my thing is, don't tell me all of that and then want relationship benefits when you obviously stated that this is nothing that's going to happen. Like, that makes no sense at all. Like, please make it make sense how you calculated in your head that, oh, it's just me and her, but I don't want a relationship. Why would I try to go somewhere with you if you told me we're not going anywhere? Like, you think I'm a stagnant bitch? Like, try again.
This is moving. We are
fellas.
Wrong one.
Establish a good game plan up front and be honest with your possible intentions. You can always go backwards. You can always say, hey, yo, I want a relationship, and then you can walk it back. You know what? Upon getting to know you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we were better off as friends, you know.
Nah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can keep fucking, maybe not. Like, you can walk that backwards. You can't.
My thing is don't cut me off. Just don't cut me off. We can walk it back. Just don't cut me off. We can walk it back as far as you want to go. Just don't.
He said, at least text me, call me something.
That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't delete a brother out your life.
Don't do that.
I got mad deleted out somebody's life. Like she didn't, like, she recently like unblocked me like sometime in 2021 just randomly because I just was drunk and like was randomly like, oh, I'm gonna text her, and I hit send and it went through. Like it went through. I said, oh,
that bitch turned blue.
Yeah, it was blue and it said delivered. I said, hey, yo. I was in shock.
What did you think was gonna happen?
I said, oh, I didn't think this door would ever be open again.
That boy sobered up so fast.
Man, I did, low key. I did.
Whoa.
And then I had to walk myself backwards and not call. Like I had to walk myself back.
Nah,
I was drunk. I was in my feelings. Like I was ready. I was ready to give her the whole like speech. I want you back, baby. Blah blah. Like I was ready.
You was listening to Drake's "Take Care" album.
I really was crying.
Come say Rose. Bitches in my old phone.
I should call and go home.
I got to go.
The woman that I would try.
Everyone good guy. And nigga kicked in.
What? I'm gonna call you and say, wait. That's all shit too.
Right.
That's so funny.
Been there.
Oh, bro, you said you gotta go, bro?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Pain,
so.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good to see you, Frankie.
Thanks for having me on.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course,
Frankie.
Oh yeah, you missed it, Celine. I was all jacked up earlier.
Man, see,
he's on the action, bro.
The way my life is set up, I just started getting paid for real on Instagram. So I be having to make my videos, and I was in the middle of making a video.
Well, that's cool.
And Smooth hit me and was like, what's up? And I'm like, hey. And he's like, you good? And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah. That always happens to me every Tuesday. So I feel you.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. And that hurts. Oh yeah. That's my
Ow. Oh yeah.
He said he allergic to us, y'all.
No.
No. He in
I had
legitimate
surgery
pain.
and I'm in recovery.
It's hurt.
So I'm on Oxy, but I just sneezed right there and I'm like, and I hurt like a bitch. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Ow.
Yeah.
oh man. But it was nice seeing you guys. So have fun.
Yep. Good having you as always, my brother.
All right.
My brother.
All right,
Bye.
All right. And then that was 4 again. So no, so okay, so yeah, man. So I guess to like walk through this one, don't be like if you can avoid them staying in light, like try and avoid it, man. Like just try and avoid it. I try to. I try to leave. Like that's why normally I'll go over there so I can leave.
Me too. I never let people come to me and fuck me in my house. Like I never do that. Like I will come to you. And I'm also really big on like energies and stuff. And like I don't want like people's energy in my house and stuff. I don't know. I'm very like spiritual in that way. Like I don't like I will do that and leave my energy at your place. Like you can handle that, but no, not gonna.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be in there with that sage like.
Amen, right? That's why I was like, no, I'll come over there, and then I can leave as I choose. I got my whip. I can jump in. I'm out. It's fine.
Yeah. Especially when people get weird and they want to like, you get over there and then they want to argue. Like as soon as you get there, I'm like, yo, what is this? What is it? I did not sign up for this. Like, why are we arguing? Why are we even talking?
Hold on.
Wait a minute. I ain't gonna lie, how this guy just messed up in the head. Like, because I was over there in the morning, I get up, I gotta go. Like, I'm, getting my shit, walking out the door, and he was like, you not gonna cuddle, nigga? I'm not about to cuddle with you. Bye. I gotta go. Shit I gotta do. Like,
right.
He called me, he texted me, was like, is my 3-week trial up? And I was
I'm crying.
Bro went outside.
You had a 24-hour trial, my nigga. You was done a long time ago. I ain't gonna lie to you.
My nigga said it's his 3 weeks trial. That's crazy.
Fan found out he was a Blockbuster rental and got disappointed.
Wait.
Those are obsolete.
You was put back on the shelf, baby. What?
He was hurt for real. I can only imagine.
He had a day pass. Hey, we need that.
This shit don't work. There ain't no sense scanning with that. It don't work. That don't work. Don't scan it no more because it don't work.
Expired. Would you like to read it?
Go and put that card information in.
Right, man. I need a new email.
Unsubscribe. I can't. It's my 3-week trial over. Shut the fuck up. I hate guys like that.
I almost didn't respond. I ain't gonna lie. I responded and I said yes.
At least you gave him that.
So what did you say? So what did you say?
I said yes.
Damn.
It is over.
That's it.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Bye.
Oh, I know he was hurt. He sat there, man. He sat there just hugging this pillow like, dang. Man, I got this one memory.
Like, usually it's me to the other person. I was like, hey, meet me there. You feel me?
Absolutely. I'm right there. Yes.
Meet me there, be there. Because, baby.
That man took a shower just staring off in the distance, letting the water in. He didn't take a shower. He's just looking like, damn, where'd I go wrong?
Man, he in there like playing Frank Ocean. He a different type of man.
Oh no.
A potato.
Damn, that hurt.
I mean, and it's the ones like that, they needed it. They needed it to happen. I don't even care. They needed it. Because you've been breaking people's hearts and being a dick this whole time. And when it happens to you, oh, it's my 3-week trial up. Because you've been 3-week trialing bitches left and right this whole time.
Exactly. That's what you get from.
Or
like, I know, yeah, nah. You should know what this was when it started.
Yeah, like,
you should know what this was when it started. It was over before it started, baby. What? Like
that ass.
Or that could be his villain origin story.
Huh?
And you just made a villain.
Yep.
I really hope not.
Yep. Yeah, her slaughter. Yeah, her slang.
Look, don't
now
let
he
it
out there. Now he out there just dogging.
Right. Yeah. Come on now.
Walking them because of you.
Right. He said they got a 3-hour trial,
bro.
The way my life is set up, better him than me. Shit.
Like, hey, you gotta go. You gotta go. 12 o'clock is coming in.
Just because he got his fitness together. He putting him through the mattress now.
Ratchet.
She said she is a savage. And I'm like,
man.
She doing the TikTok dance.
We got the whole choreography there.
Like, for real. I changed my iCloud name to Hell and High Water. So when I call people, that's what show up.
That is crazy. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Gina.
Okay.
That's crazy.
So, does anybody have anything else to add on sneaky link etiquette? Anything?
No. I do. Because, I mean, I kind of missed a lot.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't call me after 8 p.m. because I might be with my real nigga.
I mean, that's fair though.
Don't just call me. You gotta shoot a text message.
It has to be scheduled. It has to be scheduled.
No, you gotta set. It's appointments by appointment only.
Yeah, it has to be scheduled. Understand that? No?
There is a you gotta feed me, gift me, throw money on me when I'm at work fee. Like you're not about to just Like,
oh, this for a sneaky link?
Baby. This
That's
is
crazy.
Texas. What do you mean?
This is top shelf.
This is
paradise.
When you're
when she's at work,
are not gonna want to leave.
Okay, when you're at work. Okay.
So
you had to catch it before she at work.
Or after work. Like you just don't catch it at work.
Not
make that appointment. It's appointment only. So
that appointment only, and it's appointment to throw because I got somebody else that's coming to throw something. Like the way my life is set up, no. It's a lot of people that can't touch me though. Like just because you have to like. I already have a certain type of standard, and I've said it plenty of times before on here. I am here with a lot of things for the simple fact of where I came from. So I am not going to go here just because I had left someone. They set standards to here, so therefore they're going to be here or higher. I'm not going to go down in the way that you treat me. And if you can't abide by those rules, then move on. Like, find somebody that's going to accept whatever you're willing to give. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, like you're gonna abide by my rules, or you're gonna get the fuck. Like I'm not about to sit up here and keep on playing these games. Like I had somebody tell me like they don't they like are in their role of like getting into business and stuff, like they're working on their stuff. But they also, like, relationship-wise, they seen their parents married their whole life, but at the same time, like, don't believe in monogamous relationship because of how he watched his dad. So my thing is, at the end of the day, if you just don't want to be in a one-person relationship, then just say that. You don't got to use your dad as an excuse. Yeah, you watched it, but that's an example of what not to do as well. So you can't just use it as a one-way example. But it's stuff like that where it's like, with sneaky links, either that's what you want to be or you don't want to be that. You can't sit up here and have your cake and eat it too. You want me to yourself, but yet you with Trina, Carisha, and fucking JT, I ain't got time for that shit. Like, Nah, we not.
Absolutely.
Who can play at that game? Have you ever seen the movie, baby? What? Like,
absolutely, yeah, that's so true. We were just talking about that earlier too, because I feel like it's not, it's one-sided, and it's like, no, I feel like a lot of guys think that we just settle for anything, because we want a relationship so bad, or we want something so bad, or the dick is that good that we just gonna settle for that. And I'm like, no, we both gonna be doing that. And I'm very cutthroat about that too. Like, if you're doing your own thing, trust me, I'm definitely doing my own thing too.
Because I'm like, the way my life is set up, you better. I'll be telling them, like, you gotta catch me when you can, because I'm a gingerbread man. You feel me? Like, I'll be all the shit. I'll be saying for all the shit, because like, if you gotta apply some major ass pressure just to even like lock me down on some shit. Like, you gotta be applying pressure, because I pay my own bills. I take care of everything by myself. So at that point, like, you telling me you want to get my nails and toes done? Well, baby, I spend $250. If you're not coming with that or more, what are you doing? I had somebody send me $100 saying, get your feet done, baby. I spent $160. That didn't you took care of a little over half, but you're not matching my own. If you can't even match my energy, then what the hell do I even stick around for?
You don't need them.
Yeah. He's short.
What am I gonna do with this? What the rest
gotta hit the.
It was Frankie looking real lonely.
He thought he was getting a first down. They done pulled up the sticks. Like, nah, fam, it's not quite there. Not quite.
Look, I'm over here like
Mr. Franklin looking real lonely.
She's like, where is it at?
I understand and respect.
Where is it? Yeah.
Up the stove.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that's my little remarks. Sorry I'm late though, but
you all good. It's gravy. It's gravy.